Yes, good afternoon. Um, in the last classes, we were discussing on the few concepts of the introduction or part of advanced e-commerce. Now we'll move on to the second block of this paper. The second block is about the portals, data warehousing, e-marketing, and e-customer relationship management. So under this block, again, we'll be studying about the 4 units. One is on ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಆಡಿಯಬಲ್ ಇದೀನಾ ನೋಡಿ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ನೋ ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. Okay, the first unit under this is about the portal. So usually the portal is the major visiting center for any internet user. Usually this is a web-based interface to content data. So aggregated to customize. So we have to learn this. Then data warehousing, that will be included like the facts and the text which are to be processed by the computer. We'll be learning how this data warehousing is going to be managed, all such things. And the third one, that is e-marketing, especially under the e-commerce component. E-marketing is also one of the vital used techniques. So one of the way of conduct, the major function of conducting the business. So here the fourth unit is on customer relationship management. Okay, the fourth unit is on customer relationship management under e-commerce. So let us understand each of this unit. The first unit here, that is the fifth unit of second block, is on the portals. So let us understand the meaning of the term portal. It is usually a synonym for the gateway used. So we can call it as the major visiting center for the internet users. So it is usually a single web-based interface to content data. It is aggregated and customized. So based on the user's profile, subscription, and also the access. So user can be either internal or external here. Internal users can be like the employees. When we call it the external users, maybe the customers or partners or suppliers, all these will come here. So typical services which are offered by the portal sites usually include directory of websites, a facility to search for other sites, news, weather informations, emails, stock codes, phone and mapping informations, and many more. So generally, as I mentioned earlier, the portal is usually used synonymally for a gateway. So it is for the worldwide website, that is, or the purposes to be major starting site for the users. They get connected to the web, or that user tend to visit another site. So there are general portals and specialized portals, or even the specialized portals are known as the niche portals. So some of the major general portals, what we come across, may include the example of Yahoo, Google, Wikipedia, and many more. And in case of the niche portals or the specialized portals, maybe it is like, since you are aware of the KSOU, maybe it will be like www.ksouMysore.ac.in, and even the redbus.in for travelers, and hostingraja.com for website hosting, and many more. So a number of large access providers offer portals to the web for their own users. So most of the portals have adopted the Yahoo style of content categories with a text intensive fast loading page, and visitors will find easy to use and return to this. So generally, the companies with portal sites have attracted more stock market investors because the portals are viewed as able to command large audiences and a number of advertising viewers. So there are different features which we have to be thorough while understanding the portals. The important features of portal include, firstly, they organize content by building a corporate topic hierarchy, create search capability by buying a high-end search server and building a corporate by search, create a single line by buying line when directory access protocol compatible directory server, organize for easy publishing by creating publishing standards and developing document templates. They facilitate document consent procedures by identifying common approval processes, create personal view for users by discerning user preferences and logging them into the directory, and deliver dynamic content by buying software and building dynamic personal pages. So these are the different features of a web portal. Now let us understand the different advantages associated with the web portal. The primary advantage of using a web portal is for its simplicity. So it is developed because of this reason only. For example, the Round Rock, it is a Texas-based Dell Computers Premier page. They grew out of a need to provide customer with simple and convenient channel for purchasing the Dell products. Most of the customers of the Dell, they try to make use of regular purchase for approved customer configuration and other products. So one of the purchase product not on the approved list are the exception. So usually these customers would prefer to see just approved products on their everyday purchasing screens, access the complete product category, and only when making one of the purchases. So the main function here is the online procurement. So the Premier online procurement store is the premierdell.com. This displays the customer standard configuration and contact pieces, and also provides access to complete online catalog for one of our purchases, and other functions available through the premium dell.com portal include. It also include the order status, then employee purchase functions, communication with customers, and account team to tell support, and general links to news and information about the Dell Corporation. So the security administrator who comes from the customer staff control access to specific functions and information. So he can specify the different levels of access to information and assign access authority by the name. So the manager might have access to all these functions, whereas purchasing clerk, they will have purchase order entry and order tracking functions. So premiumdell.com allows each user to create personalized interface by setting up a profile, which includes that user's favorite functions and any constant data for that matter, like the name and the department, etc. So with such that they might be used popular forms, so to support purchasing work inflow with this e-code features. So these e-code features will include, through the e-code features, the users can request for a quotation. They save it on online, send a copy up to the approval, Then those which are in the approval authorities, they receive the email notification, outstanding of the e-codes, review it, approve it, and submit the e-codes through the premiumdev.com. So the order status is available online, and the order watch function will even send designated users email notification when the order ships. So if the carrier provider order tracking information over the internet, Dell includes this information in its order tracking function. So its customers can also check purchasing history and review opens invoices through the portal. So the qualifying customers can use Dell's Image Watch, which alerts customers to know how technology changes will affect the Dell products. It helps them to make their own technology adoption plans. Dell's Premier Dell.com displays a tendency common to portals from the beginning. So an ever widening span of coverage. Although the original Premier pages started purchasing portal, Premium Dell.com is now complete customer interface portal. So portals are not always serve a large number of users, but sometimes they will also have the single point consolidation of portals. These are used to support a relatively small number of specialists, and this is often used by the HR portal applications, where a few HR specialists use portals to better serve the rest of the company's employees. HR, as you people are aware, it is for the human resource management. So one such example is Anheuser-Busch. It is a St. Louis-based brewery. They used this model when it was found itself approaching annual enrollment period for its benefit packages. So authoritative HR allowed Anheuser-Busch to build a repository of HR data to replace the following and to be the sources of answers to the employees' questions. So this is to avoid the confusions of the paper reports. So they took charge of such kind of data management, electronic spreadsheets, and benefit summaries. So the company used human resource management system software from the systems applications processes, and they called tracking software from the Dublin, Calif-based Windows for install Authoria, and had to integrate these products as well as. So suppliers are another ready audience for this portal, constantly changing. Manufacturing plans results in constantly changing material releases. So to overcome such problems, the Ford Motor Company and other large manufacturers So Ford Motor Company and other large manufacturers at Detroit, they have turned into supplier portals to communicate materials releases and other manufacturing data. So the other data available on supplier portals include the quality matrix, engineering changes, invoice payments, and other manufacturer and supplier data which are required for manufacturing. Then supplier portals can also be one linked in a complete web enabled business chain. So example is Billabile wash based specially chemical e-distributor chempoint.com. This uses the pure e-commerce supplier portal from Yantra Corp Action and mass www.yantra.com in conjunction with other e-commerce software to automate its entire business chain. So once the online suppliers use the portal to send the receive information, they send the product information, material safety, data sheets, and inventory data, and also receive the order and informations. So there is one more term known as the calendaring and scheduling. So calendaring and scheduling is that you can have a list of your activities, like when and where, what kind of activities you need to be done, that can be stored as we are going to have in our mobile database system. So here it is virtually all web-based calendars sync up with those on the hand devices. Some calendars include intent for private use and other for functions of like the individual functions, which include the friends, family, business associates, or even edit your entries. So the following activities will help you to prepare your calendar based on your specific needs. Maybe for to keep up the social calendars, to share personal calendars, keep a personal calendar, and also to share the business calendars. So these are all the way of making the calendaring and scheduling of the things. Now we have already discussed with the functions of the portal. This picture here displays how does a portal function. So it may be for entertainment media or whatever it is. Here you come across the user profiling. The user can be internal or external as we have discussed earlier. This personalization indicate the requirement of the user, then collaboration with the organization and what type of categorization and integration search for the content will be made, and it is posted to the customer over there. So in the next table over here, in the page number 7 of your book, you can identify the different types of portals and also the purposes for which these portals have been made. The first one, what you come across here is the icmr.nic.in. So this icmr.nic.in indicates this is a portal for Indian Council for Medical Research. So this is a portal which provides comprehensive information and advisory services for family health management to the general folks. So main purpose here is it is in the middle class rather than the upper class, and the users are more concerned about managing the more informations on health. Then the large base of real consumer, their need exists for the relevant well beyond the netizens. And here, the competency provided is the brick and moral and consumer access competence of healthcare businesses. So similarly, we have a portal, happyfamily.com. This offers utility to help the families bond in rich ways. And Tata MG and Netmeds, Apollo Pharmacy and Pharma Easy, all these things, they think primary customers as the doctor who will add value to them. So goodwill earned by them would be able to just giving the promotional freebies for their products. And one more is the Practo. Here the patients have access to the net, whereas the doctors, they have no time to learn using the net and hence feel uncomfortable. But still, here to make the pharma companies to make familiar with the usage of the web portals, they do conduct seminars and conferences and make the people attend workshops to use this. That is like a training programs do they conduct. Then there is portal for brick and mortar companies, usually looking at the CRM as a competitive weapon. At least there are many ways to which they collaborate beyond advertising can also be made for the brick and mortar companies. There are enterprise portals The next form is enterprise portals. As the term enterprise indicate here, these are the internet technologies which provide windows into the enterprise informations, applications, and the process. So IT managers usually becoming familiar with this pitch. They transform your static, disparate intranet into a SIG portal style gateway. That is, any type of corporate database or applications can be made available. So from the external source like the web as well as in the customizable format, easy understood browser interface, this can be done. So it is nothing but in the enterprise portal, you will be getting the details about the enterprises. So this picture shows about the portal technologies. So how the portal technology works. So it is through the search tools, automated classification of engines. We'll go to content logins, content catalogs, then content management services, directories, and extensible markup language tools are utilized to reach the information to the customers. So what are the business benefits of using this? Usually, by using these portals, the business will have improved productivity, it can lower the cost, and potentially good revenue can be earned for the business. So the portals would definitely help in this area. So enterprises which are performing operations find, analyze data, and their own require their own project business intelligences, knowledge management, and enterprise resource planning systems. So the work of developing enterprise portal may amount to merely existing clients with a web interface. In less than 1 year, notion of web portals, centralized and categorized informations which are accessible through the browser has gone from internet cache bases to enterprise financial. So much of the hype surrounding enterprise portals can be traced back to 1999 when Merrill Lynch released its seminar reports on this topic. So portals entered mainstream corporate consciousness, which is emerging niche of its own acronym. So enterprise information portal. So this gives generally the business forecast and the trends of business and many more informations. So the report of Merrill Lynch predicted that the enterprise information portal will market through this the world top. So this encouraged IT managers about the data housing, business intelligence, and knowledge management applications. So they try to utilize this as collaborative applications. So portals are much useful in the portal services as found in the Indian portal service systems. So portal software has opened massive proprietary marketing databases and several other sources of information of portal services amount for even the government organizations in India. So there may be almost zero training for time for the users, but by adding web-style features to personalized home pages or intra-company auctions and capability to pipeline the information from the web itself, this would obsolete the current business processes. Let us understand the startup cost for the portals. So portal startup costs are costly. An example is taken from the Forrester Researcher analysis is depicted as under. So suppose if a company wants to start an e-commerce business, then it should have a domain, host development and logistics. The cost would be like this. See the domain, hosting, development and logistics. Usually the domain will cost around rupees 600 to 900 per year. Hosting will be 1200 to 2400 per year. Development is about 50,000 to 1 lakh per year. And also for the logistics or the courier services charges, this will be varying as per the demand. So future of portal. What is the status or the future of portal? Let us understand this. So usually to stay in competitive utilities and turning the web-based enterprises portal and to help them collect, filter and deliver the data quickly, the portals are required. So the information portal is of the next generation intranet and pointing aggregation of the fragmented data documents posted on the intranet in the multiple corporation systems. So portals tools used Advanced forms like artificial intelligence that dives into content and automatic creates hypertext links between the words and phrases, and they can build the relationship through the web content, internal document, news feeds, emails, spreadsheets, word processing files, and many more. So this tagging on indexing of unstructured information lets workers create the same focused information through reporting, query analysis. So the information systems, online analytical processing tools, and the work on structured information sources like the databases. So the marketplace for electronic commerce. So marketplace in the electronic commerce are buying and selling which takes place as shown. Like e-commerce shops are similar to the physical shops. We find at various places only where the product and the price informations are given and the purchase transactions are conducted. So this picture shows about the e-commerce place, how it takes place. The first one is about the e-shops. It is a single shop selling at a single type of product and services on the single site. Then e-groceries, it is typically selling multiple types of related products. Then e-marts include a set of multiple shops selling variety of products or the services that are hosted by a single mall site. And fourthly, it is on the vertical portals, are also known as the hotels. Horizontal portals are known as the hotels. Here, in the under the vertical portals, you come across single product category or provides information on multiple brands of that products as well as which are closely related. But in case of the horizontal portals, we come across a wide range of large products which are unrelated category. So the spot portals are also there, which are also known as the sorters, and advantage of horizontal over vertical portals, which are combined are considered as the sort portals. So example can be the computer.com. So this is how e-commerce market takes place. So we can say that this is an interconnection between the pure e-commerce shop and the portals. So that is how the function can be classified. The details of this will come. Let us discuss on this. So one thing is on the e-malls. So hope all of you are aware with the term malls. Now in e-commerce, we will be understanding the term e-malls. So this will generally have a single owner or a manager or maybe a multiple owners or managers also for this. In cases, certain malls may be provided for order or payment consolidation across the shops within the mall, whereas others may need customers to place individual orders or to make individual payments for each shop in the mall. So malls typically have subject that decides the types of shops. Example like geographical location, the type of goods sold, etc. Say, for example, it can be like Indian leather garments mall or a combination of both geographic and the product which is sold over there. So, electronic commerce portals. So, on the contrary to the physical shops, these are the places where, apart from providing the product and price information and conducting the purchase transaction, additional information and links to other related sites are also provided to the customers to aid influence in the purchase decision. So it provides an addition useful related and unrelated information to potentially non-transacting customers like specialized repairs, care for information, new product or technology developments, etc. So after this, uh, the visibility and addition to their normal revenues obtained from the purchase or sales of goods and services are done. So let us understand about the vertical portals. So as I have mentioned already, vertical portals usually showcase the single product category which provide information on multiple brands of that product as well as the closely related product information. Like it can be like a subset of audience which is catered to whom they are interested in that product alone, like either as a buyer or as a user or as a seller, whatever it is. Usually, such portals draw commission revenues or discounts for that service targeting the provide. For example, of this vertical portal is Travelpedia, or even the educational web, EduWeb, what we call it as, and the that is the example of this. Then even the financial portals like Credit Market, Construction Plus, all these are the example of vertical portals. Okay, let us look into the next one, that is the horizontal portals. We have discussed about this also earlier. Horizontal portal categories include unrelated product categories. So they provide information on multiple brands of a set of products that is chooses to carry. There are host of related products information and are unrelated or loose related information services also may be carried. It tries to attract large and wide variety of customers. So the example for this horizontal portal include the Yahoo Messengers and MSN, all these things. Apart from this, we have smart portals. They can be considered as a third type of portal, which are attempting to take the advantages of both the horizontal as well as the vertical type of portals. And the example for this can be like computer.com, which will be having a combination of both related and unrelated product categories. So there are different portals which are functioning in India. They are spreading up fast, and many more are in the pipeline. So different kinds of services which are offered by this portal can be like the shop online, buy, sell shares, order books, look for property, then get a wide chances to buy even the second-hand vehicles. All these are unlimited choices in every field. So there are different examples of such portals, like for sending sweets, flowers, or anything you want. You can click on www.143.gifts.com, and to buy or sell a car, then it is www.carsindia.com. Then Mahati Technologies of Hyderabad, a Hyderabad-based internet startup, plans to concentrate on the R&D local language applications on the web. So the plan includes propose strategic alliances with Center for Development Advanced Computing in language related technologies. Their endeavor is very humble. Let the common people embark on interact revolution. So most important on day-to-day life. So these sites will have various requirements of the people can be fulfilled through these web portals. The examples of this may include like the Flipkart for purchase of any item. We do use this. Then Flora.com. This is for the delivery of flowers. Swiggy.com for food delivery. Then Cardeco.com for buying and selling of second-hand cars. Then 99acres.com. This is for buying and selling of the sites or houses. Magicbricks.com for buying and selling of sites and houses. Investopedia for information on investment. So Quora.com, it is for general information. Then OLX, it is for buying and selling of the second-hand items. And we also have www.moneyview.com for financial management. Then policybazaar.com, buying and selling. This is for buying of insurance policies. Then Book My Show. This is helpful in booking the movie tickets. Then MakeMyTrip.com. This is for booking of tickets for traveling. Then www.booking.com. This is utilized for the booking of the room services. And there are blogs through which people share information about the places they visit. So such experience will also help both the residents of India as well as the NRIs. So again, there are also the other portals like the Shadi.com, the matrimony.com, all these things. So these are ideal for matrimonial purposes. And there are also websites for the free health checkups, osteo guidance, auctions, real estate contents, then for the rental services. Apart from these things, usually free email, chat messages, the forums, clubs, etc. will be there. And we also have the www.indiamart.com. Then it is a B2B portal which acts as a global market space for the buyers and seller. We also have myluckyhome.com. It is an exhaustive portal on the Indian real estate. And we have careindia.com. It is for buying and selling or even hiring a car for the rent. Then studentera.com. This is for a one shop site for aspiring students for and to get the informations on their career. So in India, most of the Indian properties.com, the coolmall.com, sharekhan.com, InBazaar, electricmela.com, etc., the portals which are launched very recently. So, higher the number of net surfers hitting their sites, there will be valuation for their portals. So, to take over of India portal, Rajesh Jain of Satyam Information Way for rupees 500 crore last year has resulted in the mushrooming of the portals. So the idea to build a portal and to sell eventually at a premium price after it becomes little popular. So many of the firms are flooded with requests for developing portals. It is easy to start a portal as it can cost a little less than rupees 10 lakhs. But however, for maintaining and nurturing of this portal is much more important. So to support the system, we have the support of VSNL, the biggest internet service provider in India. It is felt to need have some meaningful content and tie up with such organization. Similar to a newspaper or television channel, the objective behind starting a portal is to build a large number of subscribers and offering a lot of content linkages to them so that the advertisements can be made in a better way for the ideas. So even funding organizations are also venturing into the portal. So India Fund decides on funding for the setting up of portals on the basis of usually idea and how to put the team and sustainable advantages and the passion of the entrepreneurs. So there is a sensation created by the Tehelka portal in India. So in the year March 2001, the news portal Tehelka.com secretly filmed some politicians and defense officials accepting the money. So in a fictitious arms deal. So they said the government agencies had been let loose to nail the portal. So this had launched a slender campaign to mailing the portal and the government was attacked freedom of the press. But the government denied that these baseless allegations were made and the news portal and the various stages agencies have been those in the wake of corruption expo. Okay, the main source of income for the portals. Let us understand what is the source of income for the portals. The main source of income for the portal is through the advertisement and of the subscription and e-commerce activity, which is generated through the portal, which will help and attract some of the commission for that. So, however, there are more chances to business to business portals making success. So, since these vertical portals are more focused on given subject and more likely to succeed in the long run, and the number of stories have been limited to horizontal portals on business to consumers, which are not very focused. The main problem for their success is that the customers or the people are reluctant to give the credit card informations online. So none of the portals presently making profits of everyone in banking. the rapid growth projected, but the number of internet users is increasing. So the great growth in India may not be as such as that of the developed countries like UK and USA, which is not such impressive, but still it is quite tempting from the point of view of entrepreneurs who gave gone into the portals. So Amazon.com is the registering massive growth in the sales, but still even they have climbed that till 2002 they were not having much profits in the area of their portals. So they have usually they play a dominant role in the business chain. They are very far from versatile than their initial use of the data consolidation. So the important key just behind the usage of all these portals is to providing the single access point. We can say that it is to simplify the user's job. And if one portal is established, all the users will come to know about the supply, procurement, and to supply chain data in certain customers will be fine through the portal. So mainly the usage of web portals simplify the access for the customers regarding the products and services which are available and n number of choices available to them. So we can say that these portals can also serve as advertising agencies and help them in the getting the more number of customers. Now in your page number 18 of the fifth unit, they have given a few questions to check your progress. We can just recollect those things and move on to the next unit over there. So Dash is one among the big first portals in India. It is Excite. So tracking order status is possible because of the portal. Yes, it's true. Then to start an e-commerce business, one needs a domain, which we have learned in the first unit itself. Then portal helps in buying and selling, ordering food, look for property. So all these are the correct answers. So the option will be the D1. That is all of the above. And the portal which showcases the single product category is called a vertical portal. So we have discussed in the vertical portal, usually there will be display of related items. In the horizontal portal, it is display of the unrelated items can be identified. Okay, that is with your chapter 5 of block 2. Now we'll move on to the next chapter, that is unit 6 of the second block, that is data warehousing. In just few minutes, I'll add the next slide. Okay, let us discuss on the sixth unit of your second block, that is data warehousing. See, usually you people are aware with the concept of the term data. So the main objective of this unit is to understand the differentiation between the data and the information, and also to know the concept of data warehousing, its importance and application. Then we'll be understanding about the data mart and operational data sources, data mining, and also the security measures concerned with the data warehousing. To begin with, data is nothing but the facts. So maybe in the form of numbers, text, which can be processed by a computer. So every organization nowadays will have accumulated vast, growing amount of data in different formats. So this usually initiates the importance of data acquiring, its maintenance, mining, for some application purposes. So here, with the data collected as such, the information is generated and how the knowledge is derived and how the knowledge is managed and used for enriching this. All such things are the contents of the data warehousing. So usually, as you people are aware, we are at the age of the technology which is fast changing. So now we think of newer tools and technologies to take care of the requirement of not only today but also for the future. So here the data comes us in various forms, as we have discussed, maybe like in the form of the numbers, facts, or even in the form of text and all. So here the data engineers work on the platforms like Spark, architecture and Python, and algorithms have already forayed into the business intelligence, and they help in decision making purposes. So data warehouse is a type of data management system. So it is designed to enable and support the business intelligence activities, especially analytics. So the data warehouse is intended to perform queries, analysis, and often contain large number of historical data. Historical data represents the old data. So here it centralizes, consolidates a large amount of data from multiple sources. Its analytical capabilities help the organizations to derive valuable business inputs from their data and help in improvement of their decision making. So, because of such capabilities, the data warehouse can be considered as organization's single source of truth. So, a typical data warehouse generally include the rational database to store and manage data, an extraction, loading and transformation, solution for preparing the data for analysis, statistical analysis, reporting and data mining capabilities, clients analysis tools for visualizing and presenting the data business users, and they also have more sophisticated analytical applications like generating actionable informations by applying the data science and artificial intelligence algorithms, graphs, or even the special features which enable more kinds of analytics for the data scale. So there are different definitions for the data warehouse. One is defined by the Bill Inman in the following way. So he says a warehouse is subject oriented, integrated, time variant, and non volatile collection of data in support of management's decision making process. So it can be described in many different ways, like subject oriented. When we call it by the term subject oriented, it gives the information about particular subject instead of about company's ongoing operations. That is the meaning of the term subject oriented. Integrated indicate gathering the information into data warehouse from a variety of sources and merge into a whole. So that is integrated. Then time variant and non-volatile. Here all the data in the data warehouse are identified with a particular time period, and data is stable in a data warehouse and more data are added, but the data will never be removed. So this helps the management to gain consistent picture of their business. According to Stanford University, a data warehouse is a repository of integrated information which is available for queries and analysis. So, data informations are extracted from heterogeneous sources. Means it is extracted from the different sources. So, this makes much easier and more efficient to run the queries over the data which are originally from different sources. So data sources have been constructed independently and are likely to have different schemes. So next, let us understand how the concept or history of data warehouse came into force and what are its importance. The data warehousing is not a newer scheme, but here it is of a old mainframe concept which was originated from the mid 1970s. So to take the data out of production database and clean it up. For the first time, this term was coined by the IBM, that is International Business Machines Corporation, in the year 1991. So the original concept met with this reception because of the accessing non-relational data stores like IDMS, TM, IMS, SAM. They were too complex and degraded operational systems performance. So, based on these experiences, the experts have agreed that the warehouse needs to be separate data store built on the RDBMS. So, while naming of this information factory or information refinery surfaced and went as data warehouse. So now it is accepted as the data warehouse since the early 1990s. So data warehouse have been at the forefront for information technology applications as a way of organization effectively using digital informations, which helps the organizations in business planning and decision making. So prior to the data warehousing, organizations usually used to get the information out of transaction processing systems. While some of these systems are sufficient for gathering limited informations into the user's hand, they leave much to be desired when it comes to extracting the data. So in particular transaction processing system, they fail to provide the two key elements. The two key elements include the integrated information and the second one is historical information. Now, we mean to say that in the integrated information, here each application has its own unique understanding of the data and no two applications were the same. So that means using application information to look across the corporation was not viable option. So since they were different. Historical information, the transaction processing system of applications focus on very current information, but when it comes to the gathering of assimilating historical information, the applications were paid less attention. So that was the drawback at that time period. As the information professions were no doubt will encounter the data warehouse phenomena if not already been exposed to in our work. So hence understanding of this data warehouse system architecture is or been important in the roles and responsibilities of information management. So most exciting phenomena is the data warehouse ability to shelter the information and foster the new data users within the corporation. So data warehousing usually makes it possible to take advantage of entirely new styles of applications in analytical, business intelligence, exploration, etc. And using these applications, corporations are finally able to leverage their information throughout the system, better cope with the changes, maybe with the mergers and globalization concepts and product introduction innovations or any type of changes in the business that is taking place in the dynamic world of business. So the savvy organizations can achieve a new level of competitive advantage and competitiveness based on the information available to them. So that is the strength of the data house warehouse. So data warehouse, well, let us understand what is the scope of the data warehouse. So the scope of data warehouse is broad, as the information of data is entire information from the beginning of the time. It may be or may not be narrow personal data warehouse. So in practice, a broader the scope, more value of the data. So the enterprise and the more expensive, time consuming it is to create and maintain. As a consequence, most organizations seems to start out with functional departments or divisional data warehouses, and they try to expand them users friendly feedback. So data security, it is nothing but protecting the data such as the databases from destructive forces and unwanted actions of unauthorized users. Now we have data security technologies. So data security technologies have the following, that is the disk encryption, hardware-based mechanism for protecting the data, then the backups. Now let us understand the meaning of the term disk encryption. See, disk encryption usually refers to encryption technology. So this encrypts data on the hard drive, and disk encryption typically takes from either software, encryption software or hardware. So disk encryption is often referred to as the on-the-fly encryption or transparent encryption. Then hardware-based mechanism for protecting the data. We have the software-based security solutions encryption data to prevent it from theft. However, there is a malicious program on hacker that could corrupt the data in order to make it unrecoverable, so making the system unusable. So hardware-based security solutions can prevent such things. Hardware based on assisted computer security offers an alternative to software only to the computer security. So, the security tokens can be used for these purposes where the token is connected and correct PIN is entered for authentication, and dongles can also be used by anywhere who can gain physical access to it. So newer technologies in hardware based security solves this problem, offering foolproof security for the data. So working of hardware based on security, and a hardware device allows user to log in and log out, set different privileges level by doing the manual actions. So the device uses biometric technology to prevent malicious user from logging in and logging out. So changing privileges level, the current state of users and the devices is read by the controller in peripheral devices like the hard disk. Illegal access by the other users can be avoided. So the hardware protects the operating system. Imagine the file system. Privileges from being tampered will be there, and therefore completely secure system can be created using combination of hardware-based security. Now backup is used to ensure the data which is lost that can be recovered. So nowadays it's very important to keep up a backup of any data. Then the second one is data masking and erasure. Data masking is a structured data. So in this process of securing and masking specific data within the database table or the cell to ensure that the data security is maintained and sensitive information is not exposed to unauthorized personnel. So this may include masking the data from users, like for example, banking customer representatives can only see the last four digits of customer's national identity number. So developers who need real production data to test new software releases but should not be able to see the sensitive financial data, outsourcing vendors, etc. So these things can be used. Then another one is data erasure. So here it is a method of software-based overwriting that completely destroys all the electronic data residing on a hardware and on another digital media to ensure that no sensitive data is leaked. So when an asset is retired or reused. So there are different international standards as far as the legal aspects are considered. Let us understand the national, international laws and international standards for using the data warehousing techniques. So in UK, The Data Protection Act is used to ensure that personal data is accessible to those whom it concerns. So, apart from the person or the individual who is responsible, no one can access that data in the UK. This is particularly important to ensure individuals are treated fairly. For example, for credit checking purposes, that the Data Protection Act states that only individuals and companies with legitimate and lawful reasons can process persons' information, all these things. So, Data Privacy Day is an international holiday stated by the Council of Europe, and that occurs on the 28th of January every year. So, in the international standard ISO or IEC 17799 covers the data security under the topic information security. And one of its cardinal principles is that all stored information, that is the data, should be owned so that it is clear whose responsibility it is to protect and control access to that data. So the Trusted Computing Group is an organization which helps standardize computing security technologies. So payment card industry data security standard is a proprietary international information security standard for organizations that handle card holders information for the major debit and debit prepaid cards or e-purse or ATM or POS cards, etc. Let us understand the term data marts and operational data sources. Data mart is a simple form of data warehouse. Usually, it focuses on single subject or line of business. With a data mart, the teams can access the data. They gain insights faster because they don't have to spend time searching with more complex data, but manually aggregating the data from different sources. So a data mart provide easier access to the data required by the specific team or line of business within the organization. Say for example, if you are marketing team and looking for a data to help improve campaign performance during the holiday season, shifting through the combining data scattered across multiple systems could be costly in terms of time, accuracy, and ultimate money. But here the teams can force to locate the data from various sources, most often rely on the spreadsheet and share this data to collaboratively. Usually results in even the human errors, confusions, complex to making it very simpler. All this will be difficult. So, so-called this, even the spreadsheet will be like as a nightmare. So, data might have become more popular in centralizing the spaces, where the necessary data here can be collected and organized by the reports, dashboards, and visualizations which are created. That makes your data and understanding it in a simple manner compared to the combined data. Now, let us look into the benefits of the data mart. The data mart, the most beneficial condition is that it is centralized in nature, and it helps to ensure everyone in a department or organization makes decision based on the same data. It's a major benefit because the data and the predictions based on that data can be trusted, and stakeholders can focus on making decisions on taking action and opposed to arguing with the data itself. As specific business teams and users can be rapidly accessing the data and the success of data they need from the enterprising data warehouse and combining with the data from various other sources. Only connections to their desired data sources are established. So through this, they can get the live data from the data mart whenever they need it without having anything to go into the information technology. And the business and IT teams are both gaining improved productivity as a result, because here whatever you want to concentrate directly, such kinds of data can be easily identified and information can be obtained rather than going for a combined complex data. While a data warehouse enables enterprise level decision making, again here also it helps analytics at the department level. Analysts can focus on specific challenges. Say, for example, if there is a challenge in the field of finance or HR, or you have to solve a decision relating to marketing, you can directly look into the changes or what you are supposed to make decision relating to the data each of the area you want to. Then setting up an enterprise data warehouse to cater to the needs of your entire organization can require significant time and effort. So the data mart contrasts to focus on serving of needs of the business teams. So here, with the help of Data Mart, you can also set up your enterprise data with a simpler and faster implementation. Data Mart provides an agile data management system which works in tandem with the business needs, including being able to use information gathered in the past projects to help in the current task. Teams can update and change a data mart based on new and evolving analytics. Some data analysis projects are short lived, for example, completing a specific analysis of online sales for a 2 week promotion prior to team meetings, and the teams can rapidly set up the data mart to accomplish such a project. Now, apart from this data mart, let us look into the operational data storage. See, operational data storage system generally has a competitive advantage for enterprises, which can effectively operationalize it across their enterprises. Like the data-driven enterprises are discovering and embedding the past, present, and future-focused analytics into their end users' workflow. They use doing this to provide valuable information to their end users in order to act on the business metrics that matter. So at present, most of the organizations are managing the various data aspects using the different record system. They struggle to find an appropriate data store because they report on each data source separately. So which leads to a complex data analytic processing. So with an operational data store, they can change their approach by reporting across numerous record systems. An operational data source is also known as online transfer processing. This is a database management system where data is stored and processed in the real time. So this database type function as a central fountain for data that is collected from different sources of a data warehouse. An operational data store takes a firm transactional data from more than one production system and integrates it with being time variant, subject oriented, then integrated without constraints arise from the volatility. So it is designed to merge or integrate the data of any type of configuration into a single format. The users can usually access for decision support landscapes. So such process usually include additional operations on the data controls, reporting of the target operational decision support, and hence the current data is accessed and make it to procedure of analysis and reporting effortlessly. Since the data comes from one or more production systems, integration process enables containing it to avoid the junk, resolving redundancy, and checking for integrity to ensure that data obeys the systematic rules. Here, this figure 6.1 shows about the operational data storage. This is the left hand side shows the data sources, the structured and unstructured data sources which enter the ETL system. Then we have operational data storage houses and enterprise data warehouse. Then it is the application forms, which is include the modeling, reporting, and business intelligence systems. All these things. So operational data store contains atomic or indivisible data. So for this atomic data, we call it by the name indivisible data, like the pieces and transactions which are captured in real time, as we discussed, maybe of different categories and all such things. Then it does the integration and permanent storage system achieves the data warehouse storage systems. Now let us look into the concept of storage area network. So storage area network is a specialized network system. So this you can come across in your book in the page number 32. It is specialized or high-speed network which provides network access to the storage devices, and they are typically composed of host, switches, storage elements, storage devices that are interconnected using variety of technologies, topologies, and protocols. So here the storage area network may be spanned in multiple sites. So this presents storage devices to host such that the storage appears to be locally attached, and this simplified presentation of storage to a host is accomplished through the use of different types of virtualization. Usually, the storage area network are used in improving applicability, application availabilities. For example, the multiple data paths. Then they help in enhancing application performances, like offloading the low storage functions, segregating or creating zone networks. Then increasing storage utilization and effectiveness, that is consolidate storage resources, then providing the tier storage and improve data protection securities, all such things. Then data query language or SQL, storage data query language. So this is known as SQL, that is a database language which is designed for retrieval and management of the data in the rational database system. So standard language for database management system is the SQL, or the RDMBS systems like MySQL, MS Access, then Oracle, Sybase, and SQL Server uses the SQL as their standard database language. So the common operation methods, what we have to learn about, like DCL, TCL, DQL, DDL, DML commands in SQL with the examples. So following are the uses of SQL. Usually it helps us in describing the data. It allows ones to define the data in a database and manipulate that specific data. It helps the SQL commands in DBMS, and you can create a drop database tables. And the storage query language offers you to use functions in database, create a view, and store procedures. You can also set permission on tables, procedures, and views here. The next concept, what you have to understand is on the data mining. So generally, data mining is also known as the knowledge discovery. So it is the process of analyzing the knowledge or the data from different perspective and summarizing it into useful informations. So that can be used to increase revenue and even to cut the cost, or maybe for both the reasons, either to cut the cost as well as to earn the revenue. So data mining software is one of the number of analytical tools for analyzing the data. Usually, it allows the user to analyze data from many different dimensions and categorize it, summarize it. Relationships are identified. Technically, it is a process of finding correlation or the patterns among the different fields of larger relation databases. So, as we are aware, the data is nothing but a fact, maybe in terms of numbers or even the text, which are processed by the computers. The organizations nowadays are accumulating with a good number of data of different formats. So, usually the data include operational or transactional data, like that of the sales, the cost involved, inventory management, the payroll systems, accounting informations. Then there could be certain non-operational data also, like industry sales, forecast data, and even any type of macro and economic data. The metadata about the data itself is like the logical database designs or data dictionary definitions and many more. So that is about the data. Now, we are also familiar with the concept of information. Now, what is it? Information is nothing but it is a processed data. So, the processed data is known as the information. This includes the pattern, the associations or relationships among the data that can provide information. For example, analysis of retail point of sales transaction, then this sales data can yield information on which products are selling and when. Say, for example, knowledge. Information can again converted into knowledge about the historical patterns and future trends. For example, the summary information on retail supermarket sales can be analyzed in the light of promotional efforts and to provide knowledge of consumer behavior. That is based on the analysis of consumer behavior as well as with the promotional efforts we are making with the help of historical data, we can obtain better decision for further decision making. So thus the manufacturer or the retailer try to determine which items are most susceptible to promotional efforts. Now, what are the things that data mining will do, or what are the functions of data mining, or how does this data mining will work? Let us understand this concept. See, data mining as primarily used today by companies with strong consumer focus, retailers, financial, communication, and marketing organization. It enables these companies to determine relationship among the internal factors. Internal factors may include the price, product positioning, or staff skills, etc. External factors may be relating to the major factors like the demographic conditions, economic indicators, even the changes or decisions in the competitors, all such things. They determine the impact of sales and customer satisfaction and also on corporate profits. So finally, to enable them to drill down into summary information or view digital transaction data or view in the detailed transaction data. For example, Blockbuster Entertainment mines into video rental history database to recommend rentals to individual customers. American Express can suggest products to cardholders based on analysis of their monthly expenses. It is the Walmart which is pioneering in the massive data mining to transfer its suppliers' relationship. Walmart captures point of sale transaction from over 2,900 stores across 6 countries. So, and continuously transmitting this data, its massive 7.5 terabyte teradata data warehouse. This allows more than 3,500 suppliers to access data on their products and perform the data analysis. So in 1995, Walmart computers processed over 1 million complex data inquiries like that. So, National Basketball Association is exploring a data mining application which can be used in conjunction with image recording basketball games. The advanced scout software analyze movements of players to help coaches orchestra plays and strategies. For example, analysis of play-by-play sheet of game players between the New York Knicks and Cleveland Cavaliers in January 6, 1995 reveals that when Mark Price played the guard position, John Williams attempted of 4 jump shots and made each one. Advanced Scout not only find this pattern but explain that interesting because it is differs considerably from the average shooting percentage of 49.30% for the Cavalier during that game. So by using the National Basketball Association Universal Clock, a coach can automatically bring up the video clips showing each of the jump shots attempted by Williams Price and the floor. So without needing to climb through the hours of video footage. So those clips shows you a variety of successful pick and role play in the price loss of Nick defense and then find Williams for an open jump shot. So actually, how does it really work? So the data mining will work based on the four types of relationship known as the classes, clusters, associations, and sequential partners. Now, the stored data is used to locate the data in predetermined groups. For example, a restaurant chain could mine the customer purchase data to determine when customers will visit and what type of orders they will place. So, this information could be used to increase the traffic by having the daily specials. That is one thing. Second one, the cluster. Data items here are grouped according to the logical relationships or consumer preferences. For example, the data can be mined to identify market segments or consumer affinities. Thirdly, it is association. Here, the data is mined to identify the association. For example, the beer diaper example is a best associative mining. Sequential patterns, it is mined to anticipate behavioral patterns and trends. For example, the outdoor equipment retailer could predict that likelihood of backpack being purchased based on consumers' purchase of sleeping bags and hiking shoes. Data mining consists of these five major elements. One is exact transformation and low transaction data into data warehouse system. Second one is store and manage data in multiple dimensional database system. Provide data access to business analysis and information technology professionals. Analyze the data by application software and present the data in useful format like maybe in the form of graphs or tables or charts. All such things are the major elements of a data mining. So there are different levels of analysis of data mining which are available. They include artificial neural networks, genetic algorithms, decision trees, nearest neighbor methods, and rule inductions and the data visualization. Artificial neural network, non-linear predictive models that learn through training and resemble biological neural network in structure. That is, they resemble the nervous system. Then genetic algorithms, they optimize techniques that use processes such as genetic combination, mutation, natural selection in a design based and concept of natural evolution. So as the term genetic algorithm indicates, this is considered with the changes, any type of mutations or genetic changes that are going to take place. Then decision tree, this is a tree-shaped structures which represent the set of decisions. So usually these decisions generate rules for classification of the data set. The specific decision tree method include classification of regression trees or maybe the chi-square automatic integration detection or decision tree techniques which are used for classification of data set. They provide set of rules which can be applied to a new data set and predict the records in future. Then nearest neighbor method. This is a technique which classifies each of the record in the database on the combination of the classes of K records. Then rule induction, the extraction of useful if then the rules from the data based on statistical significance. Data visualization is that visual interpretation of complex relationship in multi-dimensional data will be done. Graphics tools are also used to illustrate the data relationships here. Now, what technological infrastructure is required for data mining? What are the requirements as far as the data mining is concerned? So, data mining applications are available in all the sizes of systems for mainframe, like the client server, PC platforms, system pieces, which may range from several $1,000 for the smallest application up to $1 million terabyte for largest. Enterprise worldwide applications generally range from 10 gigabytes over 11 terabytes. So The size of the databases, more data being processed and maintained, more powerful system acquired. Query complexity, more complex the queries, the greater will be the number of queries being processed. So more powerful and system required. In relation to the database storage, the management technology is adequate for many data mining applications which are less than 50 gigabytes. However, this infrastructure needs to be significantly enhanced to support larger applications. So some of the vendors have added extensive indexing capabilities to improve query performances, and other use new hardware architectures such as massively parallel processing. Example, the MPP system from NCR link hundreds of high-speed Pentium processors to achieve performance levels exceeding those of the large supercomputers. Building a data warehouse. Uh, to extract the data from different data sources, to transform the transactional data, to load the data into dimensional databases, and to purchase a front end reporting tool. So, these are the techniques of building a data warehouse. The first step, that is extract the data from different data sources. For building a data warehouse, a data is extracted from various data sources and that data is stored in central storage area. For extraction of the data Microsoft, it has come within a excellent tool. When we purchase Microsoft SQL, the server, then this tool will be available for free of cost. Secondly, to transform the transnational data, there are various DBMS where many of the companies store their data. Some of them are like MS Access, MS SQL Server, Oracle, Sybase, and many more. And these companies save the data in spreadsheets, and that flat files even in the mail systems, etc. Relating to data from all sources is done. To load the data, that is transformed into dimensional databases. After building a dimensional model, data is loaded into the dimensional database. So this process combines the several columns together, or it may be split one field into several columns. So these two stages which transformation of the data can be performed, and they are while loading the data into dimensional model, while extra the data extraction from the origins. To purchase front end reporting tool, there are top notch analytical tools that are available in the market, and these tools are provided by the server major vendors. So the cost effective tool and data analysis is released by the Microsoft on its own. So these are all the stages of data mining. Now we have different types of data warehouses. Mainly we call it as the enterprise data warehouse, operational data warehouse, and the data mart. So these are the three major data warehouse types. The first one is enterprise data warehouse. See, enterprise data warehouse is a database which brings together varied functional areas of an organization and brings them together in a unified manner. So it is centralized place where all the business information from different sources and applications are made available. Once it is stored, that can be used for analytics and can be used by the people across the organization. So the data can be classified according to the subject. It gives access as per the necessary division. Enterprise data warehouse will already have the steps of extracting, transforming, and confirming the already handled data. So goal of this data is to provide the complete overview of any particular object in the data model, and this is accomplished by identifying and wrangling the data different system. So this is then loaded into consistent and conformed model. After all the information is gathered by the enterprising data warehouse, which has capability of proving the access to single location where different tools can be used to perform analytical functions and create different predictions. The research teams can identify the new trends and patterns and focus on them to help the business grow. Now, the next one is data, operational data sources. See, operational data source, this is an attractive alternative having operational decision support system. Application on operational data store is used. It helps in accessing the data directly from the database, which also support transaction processing. The data which is present in the operational data store can be scrubbed and redundantly, and which is present can be checked and resolved by the checking corresponding business rules. So this helps in integrating contracting data from multiple sources so that business operations analysis and reporting can be easily carried and helps the business while the process is still in continuation. So most of the operations here, which are currently being performed and stored before they are moved to the data warehouse for longer duration, will help effectively on simple queries, the small amount of data. It acts as a short-term and temporary memory which stores the recent information. So data warehouse stores the data for comparatively longer time period and also stores relatively permanent informations. It helps in storing transactional data from one or more production systems and loosely integrated. So it's sometimes subject oriented, time variant, and integration is achieved by use of the enterprising data warehouse structure contents. Integration of this data can involve cleansing, resolving redundancy, checking business rules and integrity. So it is usually designed to contain low level atomic data and stores the limited data. Now let us understand about the data mart. See, data mart focus on storing the data for a particular functional area. It contains subset of data which is stored in the data warehouse, and data mart helps in enhancing user responses, also reduces the volume of data for data analysis. So it makes it easier to go ahead with the research. Then data mart being subset of data warehouse, it is easy to implement, it is cost effective when compared to the other warehouse techniques, and more open to change, and a single subject matter expert can define the and structure configuration of all these things can be maintained. So it is divided into three categories. One is dependent, the second one is independent, and the third one is hybrid data mart. Now, the dependent data mart is that by getting the data from operational, external, and even from the both sources, the dependent data mart can be created. So, this allows the sourcing of organizations' data from a single data warehouse, and all the data is centralized that can help in developing more data marts. Independent data mart, so this is a data mart which does not require a central data warehouse, but it is usually created for smaller groups which are present within the organization. It does not have any relationship with enterprise data, and all the data here are independent and can be used separately. To analyze can be performed automatically, and to have consistent and centralized source of data, it is very important so that multiple users can use it. So that is of the independent data mart. Now hybrid data mart, as the name itself suggests, the hybrid, it is used when inputs from different sources are a part of the data warehouse. That is, it is useful when a user wants an ad hoc integration. So whenever an organization needs multiple database environment and fast implementation, then this setup can be used. So it requires the least data cleansing effort, and the data mart support the large scale of structures. So the best usage of this data mart is when a smaller data centric applications are being used. In some cases, a data warehouse is thus considered as a very important component in the data industry, as it helps in storing, processing, and usually a data warehouse helps in analyzing it also. So data warehouse helps in getting the business trends and the patterns of the business, which can be later presented in the form of reports and provide insights for how to go ahead in the progress path. So it helps, or we can say that it plays an important role in creating touch with the based on the industrial aspects. So there are different questions for checking the progress of this unit based on the data warehousing. The page number 41 of your book. Dash is a method of software based overwriting that completely destroys all the electronic data residing on a hard drive. So it is data erasure. ERASURE. Now, dash refers to encryption technology that encrypts data on a hard disk drive. Uh, this is known as the disk encryption. Now, dash is a optimization technique that use processes like genetic combinations, mutation, then natural selection, optimization in a design being based on the concept of natural evolution. This is nothing but the genetic algorithms. Uh, Last one is dashes of structured data is the process of obscuring specific data within a database table. It is known as the data masking. Data masking of a standard structured data. It is a process of obscuring specific data with the database table. So well, that is with the data warehousing. So earlier today we discussed about the portals, and sixth unit was on the data warehousing. Now we'll move on to the next concept or the next unit, that is e-marketing. E-marketing, this is nothing but the concept of electronic marketing. So in this unit, in the next unit, you will be studying about the traditional market, about the traditional market, and also the differences between the traditional market and e-marketing conditions. We will be understanding the nature of online markets and other things. I'll be just adding the next slide, few minutes. I'm trying to add the slide. Okay, by this time I'm going to add up the slides. We'll be discussing on the electronic marketing. The next unit is on the e-marketing concept. So in this, we'll be understanding how the marketing will be done through electronical mode. So here, the marketing strategies are same whether it is for online or in the offline combination. But the intention here anyway is to attract the customer and to analyze the consumer behavior, modifying the product as per the requirements of customer, all such things. So here in this chapter, we will be understanding about the traditional and e-marketing conditions, how does online marketing mix works, and what are the different marketing strategies that we come across in the various forms of e-advertising. So let us begin with the e-marketing concepts. Both whether it is a traditional market or e-marketing, our intention is to attract the customers. So in traditional market, they try to promote the sale of the products and services. Usually they include marketing research to search for the information. Then it is publicity, maybe in the form of press release or in positioning of your company, and advertising, or even the sales, which is including distributing and merchandising, and customer services and customer support systems. So this traditional marketing usually tries to fall short of three main features. One is traditional marketing is usually considered to be expensive, Secondly, it is time consuming, and also it often has a hit and miss cases. Like, say, for example, in the case of expensive time, we can say that to market the traditional products in a traditional method, we will have to incur a lot of money to produce and print brochures, the product sheets, catalogs, etc. So that will be incurring more number of amount of money. Then in the traditional market, as we call it as time consuming, here the mistakes have to be corrected, and we have to go back to the ad agency and the printer, again making it revise or add or delete. Such things need to be done, which may take more time. And also, in the quality marketers often find the bulk of mails in the customers. So, moreover, they feel that they do not cater to the taste of consumers rather than. So, any type of corrections which need to be done while catering to the requirements of customers, we have to take a long time period in cases of the traditional uh, methods of marketing. But now that is not so in case of e-marketing, where from the introduction chapters, we have been learning that e-commerce or the electronic commerce related aspects are less expensive, less time consuming, and more options. We can say that just by single click or touch screen, the consumers will get more number of options to study about the products, product related aspects, and even the price, the brands, and other things in a greater method compared to the traditional marketing. Now, this is the trend of e-market. So, nearly about 1 billion people around the world are expected to get into the concept of internet marketing by the year 2005. So, this study shows on the online retail sales with the selected economies from the year 2018 2020, which is given by based on the National Statistics Offices, which is given by the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development. And then there are top business to consumer platforms like e-commerce companies, which are given by the same UNCTAD based on the company reports. It shows that a more number of customers by day they are increasing utilizing the internet facilities for the purpose of business activities, especially the marketing of the transactions. That is, buying and selling transactions is taking place more and more. So these figures estimates that they are accelerating the confluence of traditional print and broadcast media with new digital media like the internet that has created dynamic new channels for marketers. So at the same time, the advent of technology, the dynamic technology provides us marketers efficient, powerful methods of designing, promoting, and distributing products, conducting the research, and even gathering the market information. So, e-market can include any type of internet-based promotions, including the websites, the targeted emails, internet bulletins boards, even the websites. The customers can dial in and download the files, etc. So it shows that many marketing managers use it to describe any computer-based marketing tools to reach the customer. So now let us understand the concept of marketing mix concerned with traditional marketing as well as the uh, online marketing mix. So in the case of marketing mix of traditional marketing, we usually come across the four P's of marketing mix, that is product, price, place, and promotion. So we are concerned with only four P's of marketing. So since online marketing, while discussing in the beginning units, that is in the first introduction chapters, we have mentioned one thing that e-commerce or online marketing are concerned with intangibility options. This intangibility or the touch and feel concept is concerned with the feature of services marketing. So here in the online marketing mix also, we can consider the services marketing mix piece. That is, there are 7 P's of services marketing. Similarly, in the online marketing mix also, we come across about 7 P's of marketing mix. Now, let us understand the different options over here. They include, as that of the traditional marketing, the product, price, place and promotion. In addition to this, there are three more P's, which are the process, people, and the physical evidences. We'll understand these seven P's of online marketing one by one. The first one is product. So when it concerned with the online marketing, a product makes the product is uh, usually 100% online. Meaning of the product has no physical features. So all the processes which are linked with the customer should be done only in the online, like the creation and management of the product, pricing of the product, distribution of the product, etc. So in case if you are supplying visiting cards, then you must facilitate your customer that the visiting cards online, so that non-computer expert can design the card easily. Further, we have to showcase or we have to add the features of the basic product basis, on which prices it can be determined and how it is distributed, all these things which customer like traditional postal system. Now, price of the product. Here, the price in the online marketing mix refers to the cost of the product which the consumer is supposed to pay. In the price, we need to include the secondary factors. For example, what is consumers' perceived value of online product, or considers how much time it takes for customers to acquire that product, and even it includes the time spent on acquiring the product in the pricing strategy, which helps to develop more accurate price for your product. So the company uses varieties of ways of payment, like the payment apps, the credit and debit cards, UPI, and the companies also provide even the installment facilities, what we use for the traditional marketing concept also. Now, the third P, it is the place. So, place in the online marketing mix means the place where and how suppliers provide their customers access to the product. So, in online marketing, there are many options for suppliers to sell on a wide range of platforms and methods. So, here the social media platforms are used, like the Facebook shops and even and other social media. Then dedicated online stores, maybe like the First Try, Amazon, or online marketplaces, eBay, Flipkart, any niche market for that matter, all those things can be used as a place component. Now, promotion. Promotion in the online marketing mix is nothing but the use of online marketing communications to your customers. That is, we want to reach your target audiences or the customers, may include like online advertising, publicity to on through online, having public relations concept in the online, direct marketing tools, direct communications tools, any types of sales promotion activities which are done through the online. All these are considered as the promotional strategies. There are some methods which are revolved around direct advertising in a variety of platforms, while the other strategies revolve around building authority and content and gaining the following on the social media. Like methods of online marketing promotion may include certain consideration, like search engine marketing, like the Google and Bing, then search engine optimizations, content marketings, online public relations, then social media advertising, YouTube advertisements, print test, LinkedIn, Facebook, email marketing, then partnership, all such things. So these are the benefits of online marketing, our ability to track more and more number of result-oriented strategies in the real time through the web analytics. Then the fifth P is people concept. Here, the people as a marketing decision on the online marketing mix is crucial. So, great product business requires people that involved in online distribution. So, person who are in direct contact with the customers. To accurate answers to the questions of the people in the marketing mix, you need to measure and evaluate the interaction between the business and the customers. So, in the end, it is the people who are involved in the company that represent the values of a brand. So, here the people in the company indicate even the employees or any type of individual who is having a direct communication with the public or the general public, all such things. Sixth P is the word process. So process is the marketing decision in the online marketing mix, which defines the needed procedures and its optimization in delivering the online products. So process optimizations relies on the collecting the data, measuring it, and performing the indicators. So better process we have here is the documenting at every step and catering to the requirement of the customers. And the last one is the physical evidence. The last P stands for the physical evidence. So in case of the physical evidence, it is the online physical evidence what we go for while taking consideration of the online marketing. In the conventional marketing mix, it is believing what is not available in the online marketing. Hence, in the digital marketing mix, physical evidence refers to the different elements of service experience like customer reviews or rating or free return, etc. So this is the considered as the one of the physical evidences. Say for example, when you people travel through any type of vehicles like Ola, Uber, whatever it is, they will give one question like, "Are you satisfied with the services provided?" Or sometimes, if you order for food, soon after that you will get, "Is it delivered on time? Are you satisfied with our services?" All such things. Some ratings will be given, and that will be clicked by the customer. So this is the physical evidences for online marketing. So in case of the seven P's, what we are going to uh, consider about the marketing mix, we generally rely on the seven P's of marketing mix, which are concerned with the services. Since we consider even the online marketing concept as intangible one, or the concept having the feature of services marketing. So with this, I conclude. The remaining parts can be discussed in the next classes in future, in the next week. Thank you all. Hope I have reached to you. Anyway, we'll discuss later. Thank you all.